Hi, I'm Rebecca and I'm going to show you today how to change your newborn baby's nappy. As a children's nurse, this is something that we were taught to do in a way that makes sure you protect the baby's skin and their hygiene, so I'm going to give you those top nursing tips as well. Okay, so what you're going to need is a changing mat, something soft and something with an absorbent layer on as well, just in case your baby pees as you're doing it, and something you can wash. So some people have a changing table. This is the setup I'm chosen. You're going to need a bowl of clean, warm water, and because it's a newborn baby, you're going to need cotton wool pads preferably rather than wipes, and I'll explain why. Okay, so first thing to do is to take off the baby's nappy and just undo the tabs one side and the other side. And then if your baby's done a poo, what's quite helpful is if when you're taking it off, you kind of go like that, because you will wipe some of the poo down and keep it in the nappy for now, and then you can rest your baby back on top of the nappy just in case they do a wee or whatever, then it will soak that up. And then you take your cotton pads, and we use these because they will maintain the oil in the baby's skin when you want it to reabsorb naturally, so we don't want to be wiping that away with wipes. So we dip it in the water, and then the basic rule is from clean to dirty, or you can say from front to back, especially important with girls. So each time you wipe, you go from the front down to the back like that, and then you would throw them away in a bag or something. And remember as well to use a new wipe each time you wipe as well, so don't go back over it. So you can do it like that. Now for a poo as well, what's quite helpful, some people will tell you to lift up the baby's bum like that, and some babies don't mind that and they'll be happy with that, and so you can wipe like that. But if your baby seems to be uncomfortable in that way, then one thing you can do, so for example if they have reflux, or if you just feel that it's more comfortable for them, you can roll them onto their side, and you can do it like that as well if that's better for your baby. You can lift up that leg and do it like that. Okay, so that would be how you clean. If you've got a boy as well, make sure that you clean underneath the scrotum, because you can't always see that and you don't want to miss that bit. So it's important to get rid of all of the poo so that they're really clean before you put the new nappy on. Okay, and then when it comes to taking the nappy away, remove it like this. Now, fun fact, did you know that the poo from the nappy should go into the toilet and be flushed away? It's a bit tricky on a newborn, but as your child gets older, you'll definitely be able to do that, and that is where poo should go. So flush the poo down the loo. Okay, so when you want to put a new nappy on, make sure the skin is dry, everything. If necessary, you can dab it with a new piece of the cotton wool. Make sure you get in all the little creases and things like that so that you're not leaving any moisture behind. And then if you are going to use a nappy cream or a barrier cream of some kind, that would be the time to put that on now. Otherwise, you're ready for the new nappy. So take your new nappy and fold it out. So the tabs are always at the back. That's how you know. And then lift up your baby, put the nappy underneath. It's really important as well with a newborn that you don't cover up the umbilicus, because that's going to need to be drying out, and if you cover it up, it's going to go damp and soggy and maybe get an infection. So that is why you see the front of the nappy goes down a little bit, to help you with that. So when you come to put the nappy back on, you want to put the tabs on one at a time like this. Stick it on. And you don't want to pull it like super tight like this, but you don't want it to be too loose either. So put it on so it feels about right, and then just check that it's not super tight by just feeling it, and then you know it's ready. And you can check the back as well, make sure that there aren't any big gaps or anything like that. And there your baby is done. Okay, so now you know how to change your baby's nappy. I'm also going to let you in on a little secret, which is that babies can actually use the potty from birth. So even a baby this size, a newborn baby, can actually get their wee and poo in the potty. And this might surprise you, but it's really doable, and I'm going to show you how. So let's say your baby, you think maybe they've done a poo, or it's changing time and you want to try this. So let's see, we think baby's done a poo, but then when we open the nappy, we find out that they haven't. No poo. So this is actually the perfect time to try, because your baby may have been giving you some signals before that a poo was coming. So they might have done the poo face, they might have been a little bit fussy or a little bit wiggly or a little bit kind of upset in some kind of way. And sometimes if you think a poo is coming, that's usually their way of telling you. So instead of letting them use the nappy, you can use a potty. Only joking, that one is massive. And you can use this potty, but did you also know that they make tiny potties just for newborns? So this is called a top hat potty and it's specially designed for newborns. Actually, you can also use something as simple as Tupperware or bowl, but this little potty has a nice warm top on it and it's really good for this purpose. So instead of letting your baby poo in the nappy, you can help them by holding them over the potty. So they can sit on it like this and you can hold them and have a little chat, or you can literally hover them over it like this. Make sure that you get your hands under the fleshy bit of their thighs so that they're nice and secure, and when they sit in the potty they will kind of sink down into a little bit like that, and all the wee and poo that they do will go in there. And because you took their nappy off, this will prompt the natural instinct that your baby has not to soil themselves, and it make it more likely that they will actually do the wee or the poo in the potty. And that is why it's a really good time to offer the potty at changing time.